Next up, we have a report on the Republican Army's joint mock exercises, also scheduled for today. The presidential office states they will be done to assist Project Startaker for a prompt response to falling debris in the event of a failed launch.
It sounds like the Air Force and Army are finally on the move now that they're just under 3 hours before launch.
Yes. Evidently, we can no longer take these joint mock exercises at face value.
Ketra...
Can't blame them for getting lost in their...
In any event, time is of the essence right now. We ought to thank the good inspector for expediting our transit.
Yeah. This baby'll let us zip down south along the Autobahn. Speed limits be damned. Just gotta make it back to Edith by around 11.
The first Grimcat and the Sword Hermit who made an appearance here are also... Oh, and about that other assistant of yours.
You can explain...
Yes, but keep in mind that these are my mother's affairs. All I can offer... This much I can say for sure, though. She, Professor Hamilton... Nearly 6 decades ago, my mother... Crime was so rampant back then that by the age of 12, it was then that she snuck into the home. That somebody was none other, the hero of the Democratic Revolution over... She played on her piano a melody that drew my mother in. A series of events later, the two had bridged their multi-generational divide. From what I gather, it was through Sheena's instruction that my mother discovered a new... Not long after, Professor Epstein arrived from Le Mans State at the Republican government. They had brought him in to design Trion Tower, during which time he stated, in order to select and survey potential locations for the tower's construction, he had... Shortly thereafter, his disciple Latoya and foster daughter Lilia also came to join him in the Republic. Though this threw my mother off at first, she and the girls soon took to one another, and before long, a sight for... As a reward for her help, Professor Epstein if I had to guess, that little transformation tool may have been created. That's likely the reason it reacts to them every now and... In any case, my mother accepted the compact despite her hesitation, kicking off our family tradition of working. As for Latoya, Lilia, and the professor, they continued to keep in touch even after... 2 years later, however, word of Professor Epstein's deaths, my mother then took a horse-drawn carriage to Le Mans. The loss of the professor resulted in much turmoil. And amidst it all, my mother was tasked by Latoya and Lilia with bringing the latter back to Calvert in secret. Lilia was then taken into Sheena's household, spending several years with her. When Sheena eventually passed at the age of 80, Lilia, with my mother's aid, learned to fend for herself at 18. From then until the day Lilia left this world at age 46, she and my mother supposedly remained. And included in their circle, I'd wager, was Latoya Hamilton.
Thanks, Mom.
As you ought to.
Oh, good. You're still here. Aha. Might that...
A lifesaver.
We'll have Giordano give us a lift back to the capital once we've made sure those vestiges didn't leave.
We can fill Bermonti in on the details, too.
Me? I plan on hitting things to vamoose before those debt collect...
I'm still not quite following, but basically, safe travels.
What my asswipe of a dad does means F all to me. The Oathbreaker pulling his smarmy nose out of our crap, though?
No kidding.
Well then, with the face beneath the mask confirmed, it's my cue to pack it in. Don't take this as your reward, but I'll keep an eye on these parts in case those dregs try to pull a fast one.
Guy must have had some hang-ups from his old job at the Order of the... Anyway, sounds like the other enforcers are in the wings, so we'll let him play sentry in the meantime. On that note, it's a small surprise you up.
Hardly. I'm pretty positive Ix already. Besides, you put a lot of work in for my
Yeah? In that case...
A girl.
We're happy to have the extra fire.
Definitely. Right now, getting to Agnes. Bad news, though. Both of their Zyphus are... The only explanation that comes to mind is that they're in some kind of...
that figured.
It's the same with Grammy.
You holding up okay about your own grandma?
I am. Finding out Kevin has been after her all this time did come as a... But she has more than a few allies. And my gut tells me, that being said...
Petra.
The particulars elude us. That is...
My thoughts exactly. I have a hunch we'll get a chance to make contact. Young and Essie are probably ready to act too, so...
Listen...
Do allow us to assist when it comes...
Yeah. Besides, this is Professor Hamilton we're dealing with. But first, we need to meet with Agnes and Dom...
No need to tell us You said it. This time...
Bermonti's already on the case.
Jack and Hal caught me up a bit ago. Sounds like things have gone upside down and sideways. That aside, I was able to pinpoint the limousine that picked up Agnes and company late last night. They seem to have made their way into the presidential office in the Von Tai district.
Almighty. It's just that when Inspector DeSwanee reported the Anchorville case as moved, then he ordered me to work together with you. To be honest, I'm with the Inspector on this one. This whole putting civilians under lock and key, that's enough excuse to help out a bit until... But only within the bounds of the...
put it mildly, yes. Though we...
Late last night, an orb mail came in from Agnes and Renz, but when they didn't respond to us all morning...
That's right.
Testing. No interference. Even while on... Sorry, Odette. You too, Albert. But the main channels around the capital are completely blocked off. Please deliver this video to Van and them if possible. For the moment, try visiting Monmar in the 8th District. Oh yes, and let me get... At the moment, I'm being confined in a corner of the presidential office. But although they've placed me in a room devoid of any terminals or network access, and thanks to a little trick I had up my sleeve, I was able to hide— Oh, and don't worry, no one's been rough with me in the slightest. They even provided me with a luxurious breakfast. In all likelihood, they're planning to set me free just as soon as the— My apologies, though. I was separated. It seemed as though they had some sort of discussion with the president, but I wasn't Also, well, I hate to say this where Judith can hear, there's judging by a rather disquieting exchange between her and Kincaid. Could it be that— What's more, those white replicas are apparently the professor's work. I'm still wrapping my head around— Now, on to the main concern. To start, the president has no plans to leave Edith. That would suggest he is seeing— You may think, if not here in the presidential office, then perhaps the ruling party's headquarters, or else the capital's gear. Wrong on both counts. It's bound to be a confidential— For example, a place easily accessible from the head of state's official residence and capable of sustaining attack. Here's a shot in the dark. Maybe the president— I doubt I can keep the wool pulled over their eyes for much longer. So this'll— Oh, and don't forget the birthday party arrangements. Agnes—
I ordered something quick and filling to eat. Can't head in the back.
We asked them to make enough to go around, so feel free to...
Never seen you rush out this soon after coming. No sense holding you up with my ram.
Got it.
We'll make sure to bring our...
Got something special?
I'm still a little... As I said this morning. You're very welcome.
Not at all.
Yume and I will be heading out soon, but I'd also like to settle on a time for
Yeah.
Assuming we're fast enough, you'll be able—
I shall assist however I can.
Count me in too.
Van?
What?
Oh, it's just... You still haven't figured... I'll help you pick something, but you gotta...
Sounds good to me.
Yeah.
Not much longer now.
Excuse me, Van? Sorry to ask while your hands are so clearly full, but...
Aaron, catch. Long as it's quick. Could have sworn you were supposed to be...
The event ended yesterday, so I caught an airline. The thing is... Well... She and Dad... Victor... already gave me their blessing. Basically, I plan on telling Yume about me being her father. Maybe I'm jumping the gun, though.
I'd say it's a great idea. You go for that gold, Mr. Champ.
me a break. You don't get to act all surprised at...
The way you pretended everything was fine.
That's why, after discussing between us, we figured that maybe there was some...
Then they came to hound me about it. Could be they're just not willing to turn...
Well, duh!
Oh, Lyle.
You will stay out of this if you don't need any more...
It's launch day, but there aren't that many people in Von Tai, huh?
They aren't running any live streams on those vehicles either. But it sounds like the other districts are still packed.
Could be we'll spot some familiar faces.
Take your time.
We ought to take a look around.